It's very satisfying when I see the client that achieves something. There was a person that could not speak with more than three people in a room. After the third session, they gave a presentation with 25 people, and they couldn't believe that. A few days ago, they sent me a message that they got 3 awards for Toastmaster speaker. It really warms up my heart. You see the success of those people.
Hi, I'm Alden. I'm a product strategy advisor at ValueLinkPro, and today I'm talking to Davide Florentino about coaching. Talk to me about your journey. How did coaching become a passion for you?
I worked as a developer or engineer for many years until I got to the United Nations. And I was still working as an engineer, but then I was managing or leading some projects. There were some shifts that I didn't like. So I came here to work for a startup that was trying to use AI, machine learning, that was called that time, to solve the virus illness. And that was 11 years ago. And we were far ahead. Then other things, the coaching was growing a little bit. Then I started doing training. But aside of that, I also have another business doing pizza because I don't know if I already mentioned that one. I don't like pizza here. So to teach to give my children the right pizza, I started making pizza here, and it became a business. People liked it, so yeah, it became a business. It was not planned.
So part of that journey of being an entrepreneur and founding and scaling a business, there's multiple core mindset changes that you need to make along that path. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you also have to realize that you cannot do everything. As a leader, if you understand, if you let people do, if you learn how to delegate, and it's not easy delegating, because especially if you start your own business, you move from a passion. You want to do things your way because it's like that. It starts that way, but your way can only get so far. But at some point, to go over, you need to change something. And for leaders, you need to change yourself as well. You need to recognize that things has changed. You have to grow. You have to give things to other people. You have to delegate. You have to listen to others. So there are skills that you might never be able to acquire. You might not need them anyway. And it's there where you need the team. And of course, it's painful for people that say, oh, I can do that thing in 5 minutes. He's spending 2 days doing that. I could have done that. Sure, true. But again, the day that you cannot do that, nobody will do the thing. And that person, that engineer will not grow, or that employee that don't grow, and they will not stay. So you will always there where you have to do everything, and you can do only a limited number of things. Time is limited. You have your life, probably your family, you have your hobbies, and you have to recover because you have to recharge your energy, and things that you do outside the work do help. And if you don't have a team, again, you are alone, and a lot of leaders finding solutions that are very alone. It's aloneness. It's very sad because then you have a problem that might be a tiny problem, but because you don't have that skill, you cannot solve it. To get that skill, you must spend years. Trust other people, delegate to other people, and build the trust where you can say what you think. Leaders often their core are just saying, oh yes, your idea is good. But then you come to a point where it's not. Everybody knew, but they didn't have the courage to tell you. The coach tells you, look, I see pitfalls here. And they appreciate that. They come and they pay us to know those things. We all have our vulnerabilities. So saying that, okay, I made that mistake because of this thing, or I made the decision that maybe was opposite of what you were suggesting. Maybe your solution was right. Acknowledging that solution was right and they made a mistake, and they're doing something to avoid that mistake to happen again. Creates an environment where people say, okay, they feel appreciated, they feel valuable. It's not just the money. It's much more than that.
I think that moment when you have a leader who's willing to listen, grow, and learn, that comes across as tremendously strong. And that then is very inspiring. And they're the people who really bring you with them to the top of the mountain. In order to grow, you have to change. And if you don't understand your starting point for that change, then the growth is never going to be strong. It's never going to be sustainable. So that introspection is incredibly important, right? But not easy to do.
I'm a master coach. I went through a lot of things. Now I got 8 certification. And the base of coaching is that each one of us has their own solution that works for my solution works for me and might not work for you. So it's not right or wrong, especially if we are talking about things like time management or conflict resolution. It's not the same. Even if we are in the same, we come from the same culture or same country, we have a lot of differences. So coaching is leveraging that difference. Coaching helps the client to discover what works for them and apply what works for them. We discover a lot of things. So often when we start a session, the client comes with an idea. I want to discuss this thing. I want to have this to solve this thing. And by the end of the session, we got to a completely different point. They're equally happy. But then during the session, they discover that the real thing that they want is different from the thing that they thought they want. A great thing of coaching is that you do not have to have the knowledge of the domain. I was coaching people that do a job that there was one that was a singer. I'm terrible at singing, but that doesn't matter. We got to a point that they got a concert that they weren't able to have a concert with some people. They actually got a concert through the coaching. And I was not coaching their voice. I'm not that person. It's very satisfying when I see the client that achieves something. When they say, oh, this is impossible. And was a person that could not speak with more than 2 people, 3 people in a room. They want to get to a role where they had to speak with a lot of people. After the 3rd session, they gave a presentation with 25 people, and they couldn't believe that. And a few days ago, they sent me a message that they got 3 awards for Toastmaster speaker. And that was it's really warms up my heart. You see the success of that those people. The important thing of the coach-coachee relationship is the trust. So I tell my clients what I think, and there are no, I'm not going to tell them, oh, that is a good idea if I don't think that is a good idea. And they say the same, because with that trust, then you can really say, because you want to bring up the stuff that are inside them. So that is the whole thing. And you need to be blunt sometimes. In the laser coaching, there are sessions that are very focused and usually shorter than the regular ones. We go to the truth. So sometimes we just challenge the client and say, I think that this is the truth. Or I think that this is the point that you're not telling me. What do you think? And sometimes you see people that they're shocked because they might hide the thing, or they haven't realized that you start a business, you want to be there forever. Sometimes that's not the right decision. And people inside, we all know the truth. It's deep, it's buried deep inside us. And a coach helps you to bring that knowledge up. So you then find what is the truth. But then the moment that you say that, it's like a eureka moment. Oh, yes, you're right. Or they might say, no, you're completely wrong. The most difficult part of a coach is to come with a blank state. So you have to leave back all your supposition or your ideas, even your ethically. Sometimes you have to leave back something. So one core concept of coaching is deep listening. So I say that there are 4 types of listening. There is the usual one that, when you meet somebody on the street, how are you? And probably by the time that they answer, you're already gone 20 meters. You don't really care. You listen, yes, but you don't care. Then there is when you listen to give an answer. In that point, at any point you find the answer, you stop listening. You just wait there when they finish, and then it's your turn to reply. But that's not really listening. You're not getting anywhere. Then there is another step where you listen attentively to everything that the person is saying. And sometimes there are people that start in one direction, they turn contrary direction, and keeping listening and understanding what they're saying requires a lot of energy, but that is a deeper level of listening. Then there is the 4th one that is the deepest. When you listen to what they're saying, you listen to what they are not saying. So even the way that they move or where they point their eyes, all those things, but all together with what they're saying. So the listener should also pay attention to all those things. And it can be exhausting. So it requires a lot of energy. But yeah, then when you listen, you may understand other things that they didn't say. So then you learn more about them. And so there is a thing that is, I find it funny. So previously, I also knew that if the people were just crossing their arms, they were not listening to you. For some people, that's true. For others, it's not. So some people have to cross their arms because they are focusing on you. But then if at that point you think, oh, they crossed their arm, they're not listening to me, and you got mad or you derail, whatever, that is lost.
So you see coaching as having a very transformative effect inside businesses, making real change. Is it just for leaders, or is it for everyone throughout an organization? How do you apply it to make a difference?
I like to help people getting the solution that work for them, and not like a teacher, because I believe that if people come to their solution, it is their solution. If I tell them the answer, then it's like when you cheat on the variables or things like that. You don't get away anything. It's okay, you solve the problem now, and tomorrow you will have the same problem. And as an engineer manager, the problem is that if I'm not there and my people do not know the answer, do not know how to get to the answer, disaster might happen when I'm on holiday. While when I'm away, for whatever reason, I want them to be able to get to solution. It probably might not be my solution or the solution that I would have them, but we have them because they are probably better than me and they have their ideas. They have some skills that are very powerful. So using the skills that they are powerful or that they want to use, because some have powerful skills, but they don't want to use those. They want to use something else. So make them doing what they want to do. And if they are not the best people, they can learn. You can pair with other people. Then you can become a mentor. So they can get better in what they want to do. Because if you want to do something, you will put more energy than if you have to do something. Because you have to do, yes, I have to do, but then as soon as I can stop, I will just stop. But if I won't, and as engineers, we always went through over what we were asked because we want to do more. And that applies to any field. Let them do what they want. There is a thing that I really loved is the concept that for some people, this is mind-blowing, but suppose that the person is going to do something that is very bad, and you know that is very bad. Most people will stop them. I don't. I let them make the mistake, even if it's a big mistake. But then because I'm next to them when I'm coaching them, I know what they did, these steps, and I know how to recover that. But then they saw what is the mistake. When I was a young engineer, people were telling me, oh, you have to do that way. I never took that that way. Why? And I was always challenging. And sometimes I was trying my way. Sometimes, of course, if they were watching me, I was not doing my way because they will not let me. When they were not there, I tried my way and then I broke the word. So now I know I want them to learn.
You think that coaching is one of these things that can change the structure of an organization. What kind of benefits does it have?
Oh well, there are a lot. So first, it creates a safe space for everyone. So people know that they can say what they think, what they want, and they are listened. So people are more willing to even challenge some decision, and knowing that the discussion is going through something that is meaningful. It also, if you think when your past jobs, when you were there and you were learning something or you had opportunity, you were staying, you were more willing to stay. And in my case, sometimes another job offered me much more money, but I was not growing. I was not doing what I want to do. And if you have a culture of coaching, people know that they will grow, know that they have their environment, a safe environment, and they are there because they know they are getting more than just the money. And you can hear people saying, oh, I'm staying there because I'm learning this thing. And that is the key. Yes, they might leave after they learn that thing, but why they're leaving? They're leaving because they're not getting more. If you keep feeding their desires, they're not leaving. Because people want to learn more, want to grow, and that is the environment of coaching. To do that, you have to listen, and people like to be listened because they say something, they feel that you are hearing them, you are acting on what they're saying. Sometimes you might have to say no, but they understand that it's no because there might be some reason. Sometimes you cannot disclose all the reasons, but they know that you listen, and if it's appropriate, you act.
I think if you're an entrepreneur or a founder, that has to be probably the strongest argument for really seriously thinking about coaching as being core in your organization. If you can make coaching really core in the culture of your business, what you're doing is creating that team who you can trust that will support you.
Yeah. And there are situations where but there are some books that you can read that talk about this behavior where people are in the same team but are not working together. They do not work for the same goal. But when you do team coaching in this case, you see people that they come together and they see how they can help others in filling their gaps, how they can ask for help, which is a very powerful thing. And it all comes to sometimes it's vulnerability, because especially if you are in the C-suite, in the board meeting, everybody's perfect, nobody's perfect, but you assume that others are. So if you have a gap, you might not be willing to expose that gap. And that happens a lot when people that just got to that level, because if you are experienced, usually those things don't happen. Well, sometimes they happen anyway. But a new one that got to a leadership role, they feel, oh, now I'm the perfect. They expect from me a lot of things. No, people know that you don't have all that require the job, and you might never have. But that's not the problem. You are bringing you. So you can say something that is dummy, and might turn out that it's not that dummy. So just go ahead, and with coaching, you feel more secure, more confident, and you know that it's a safe environment. And again, safe environment is probably the most important thing in a team, and brings trust, because the two things are interconnected.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Davide. That was fascinating and really insightful in the way that coaching can affect entrepreneurs, but also scale the capability and performance of the entire business.